The seating is around the stage, and we have to take our shoes off to go on the stage. So yeah, I'm Jess Curtis. I'm a choreographer and director based in Berlin and San Francisco. I kind of go back and forth. So when we have an access tour and an audio description, usually we ask people to, because we have a limited number of headsets, we ask people to pre-book them. And so you would call up and make when you buy a ticket or make a reservation to also reserve a headset. And then the Haptic Access Tours begin usually an hour to sometimes an hour and 15 minutes before the show. So we like that to be so that people that want to participate in that, they don't have to show up way early or a whole other day or something, so they can have a normal experience of coming to the theater. With the Haptic Access Tour, we walk through the set, we let people feel the scale of different objects that might be in the play on the stage. And in the center of the room is a sort of a room that's made out of these Rettungsdecke, and it stops about 80 centimeters off the floor. They invite people to change their perspective, so people can come up. It usually takes a minute for people to figure out, like, oh, the eye holes, that's what they mean, and they come up and look. And if you look through the eye holes, sighted audience members can see inside but they are also seen when they look through the eye holes. So it becomes kind of a dance, a very interesting dance. Also watching and hearing the audience members who come and go and sit back and then stand up. And, sometimes costumes, if costumes are interesting to have interesting textures or things that are interesting that you can feel something about their form that would be more difficult or complicated to describe later. We usually have all of the actors or dancers introduce themselves. And then sometimes with dance especially, we'll sometimes, if there are complicated partnering or complicated group shapes or things or qualities of movement that are more easily felt than described, like it's often difficult to put some complicated things into words, we'll often pick 3 or 4 elements of the production and say, oh, there's a really cool lift that these 3 people do, and the 3 dancers will sometimes then will do that lift and let people feel like, oh, that's so amazing. Wow, her feet are off the floor. Oh my goodness, how are they balancing? And that's really satisfying, because often people with visual impairment have not been watching the Olympics every 4 years and seeing flick-flacks and this and that, and to have an up-close and personal feeling of a really skillful balance or something can be really give an insight for them later. Could you just demo the sound of your jumping? I mean, and you'll, also this. So that's about a 20-minute thing. So if people come at 7, about 20 to 25 minutes of the tour, and then people go back into the lobby and have a drink and get all of the tech set up. And then come back in at the start of the show, and usually there's the audio describer. Depending on the theater, if there's a tech booth that is a sound-separated tech booth, like at Deutsches Theater, where I think we're doing Jerome Bell this summer, there's a tech booth, and the audio describer sits in the booth with a microphone, and then a wireless transmitter transmits to people who are sitting wherever they bought tickets or wherever they can sit. We like to say it's sort of like someone sitting and whispering in your ear through the performance. It's just the whispering is a technological one, and just describing throughout the piece what the meaningful visual elements that are, saying, oh, she's reaching her arms out to him as she speaks, or something, stuff like this. We try not to speak over people who are talking on stage, and we try to be concise and also let the performance speak for itself. I think the one that jumps out very, very much is earlier this year we were doing audio description for the physically diverse company Access Dance in Oakland in California. And we do now little audio surveys when people come out of the people that were using the audio description. And there was a young woman, I don't know, she was maybe a teenager, and in the audio survey afterwards she said, "This is so amazing. I've never been able to experience anything like this. It made me understand that I could be a dancer too." And that just, makes it all worth it for someone who's never experienced dance at all. When I think back of why did I become a dancer and a choreographer, was when I went and saw something and experienced a dance performance that literally changed my life, because I went, I want to do that. And I feel like that level of hoping that what we're doing makes the work accessible to young people is really, I think, important and especially a strong experience to have.